This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Franny's Pharmacy.
Now more than ever, it's important that our society focuses more on our mental and physical health. At Franny's Pharmacy, the team is committed to their community's need of being happy, healthy, and stress-free. Come learn how Franny's Pharmacy can assist you in a clean, professional environment with their expert bud tenders that are excited to educate you about the benefits of their lab-tested, DEA-certified CBD products. Franny's Pharmacy also offers wholesale and franchise opportunities. Visit their website at frannysPharmacy.com, and that's pharmacy with an F, and use the promo code CannaConnect10 for an exclusive Cannabinoid Connect discount. Again, that's Franny's Pharmacy with an F.com and use the promo code CannaConnect10 for an exclusive Cannabinoid Connect discount. Franny's Pharmacy, putting the farm back into pharmacy.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Canna Health.
Hey cannabis consumers, have you ever consumed a cannabis product thinking it'll make you feel a certain way, but then it doesn't? Don't you wish you had a clear understanding of your own DNA so that you could make informed decisions about what type of cannabis products interact best with your system? Well, now you can with EndoDNA. EndoDNA is a simple DNA test that maps your entire endocannabinoid system and then matches that summary with a specific cannabinoid ratio and terpene profile that best aligns with your unique genotype. Imagine being armed with personal information when visiting a dispensary. You'll have the knowledge and power and capability to purchase products that best align with your genotype. Visit their website to purchase the EndoDNA Collection Kit and Endo Decoded Report at endodna.com/products and use the promo code CONNECT15 for a 20% discount. Again, that's endodna.com/products and use the promo code CONNECT15 for a 20% discount. The future of cannabinoid therapeutics is here with EndoDNA. Hello, Theresa. How are you?
Hi, I'm good today. Just anxious.
Well, hey, I know that we've had this on the calendar for a couple weeks out, and I've been looking forward to it, and I think you have been too. So it's really good to have you on today. And I think, for those watching and listening, so that they have a background of at least how you and I met. And then we can talk about, your background, Theresa. But first and foremost, I was actually introduced to you, Theresa, in a Twitter Spaces that some of the leaders of the legal cannabis industry put on, what was it, back in like early March. And
yeah, it was a couple weeks ago, I believe.
When we were introduced, Todd Harrison was hosting the Spaces, and he did a live Q&A. And I think, you were one of the speakers, and you were just talking about, your background, and, you've lived a difficult life. It sounds like you've had many surgeries and different ailments and abuse and just all these different things, and how cannabis has helped. So Theresa, let me give you the floor, and, I guess briefly, and then we can dive into things. Give us just a background of who you are and how you came to be a medical cannabis patient.
Okay. I was born and raised in St. Clair County, Illinois, and that's where I live now. My parents still live here, and my brother. I have lived in a lot of different states, several different states on the East Coast, and worked too. Even applied for a job in DC. I was in Washington. In 9/11, I was at the trauma center for Camp David. I was working in that trauma center. Back then, I actually moved back here and became I moved back here in 2015 to get both my knees replaced. And my husband had just passed away the year before. He died of lung cancer. And so I came here, and when I got here, I already had my pain management doctor, my regular doctor, and my orthopedic doctor. I had it all lined up for surgery and everything. I came here, I was on 90 milligrams of morphine extended release a day, plus I was taking 30 milligram Percocet, 1 to 2 every 4 hours for breakthrough pain when I got here in 2015.
Wow. Was that morphine, the 90 milligram, was that prescribed twice a day as well, or just once?
No, it was in a day, it was 30 milligrams 3 times a day, 30
Wow.
milligram tablet 3 times a day.
And
And then the
with
30
and then the
milligram Percocet.
Percocet. That is
And it
wow.
wasn't 5, it wasn't 10, it was 30.
And
It was a
so
blue pill.
and so how long were you, so that was before the surgery, is that right? Or is that after?
Oh, that was before the knee surgery, but I had surgery first when I was 3. I always say I'm an Agent Orange baby because when my dad came back from Vietnam, he came home and made me. So um I was born with 3 ureters, and so those are the things that connect your bladder to your kidneys, and I had 3, so it was not working right. So they had to cut me in half literally and fix, because in 1973 they didn't have this
The
technology.
technology that they have now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I've been in the I have I went to nursing school, associate's degree. I went to nursing school. I've worked in the medical field, and that's why I can relate to the marijuana, because I want to find out what works with what cannabinoids. I want to know
So
the physiology of the plant.
and that's, I mean, that's the future. That's coming for sure, right? And so
That's what I could
yeah.
do that. I could that's what I'm into, like that.
Right. I want to go back. So you talk about the opioids like that you were on at that time. So did that
And I
ever
was going through
become a
pain
really a
management.
big issue for you? Like did you see yourself becoming reliant and like
I
physically
was,
addicted to
yes,
it?
I would, for years, like if I'd run out a day or two, always at the end of the month, run out early, because it doesn't matter when they start. They give you. I was on 15 milligrams 3 times a day, and I had to jump through hoops to get that. And I was just terrible. I had to go to a pain management psychiatrist in Pennsylvania, Carlisle or Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, for real thing. Anyway, when I came here, they just raise it. They raise it. They just raising it and raising it. And because you're tolerant, your body it's like you never took nothing. It's terrible. I don't even know how to explain. I'm an alcoholic too, as well. I've overcome, as far as I'm concerned, uh, 6 addictions. You can't, when you're on marijuana, when you're in pain management, you definitely can't smoke pot. No way, because you get urine, they piss you every month. I got kicked out of my last pain management for drinking, for having booze in my urine the next day.
And that's because they are prescribing that amount of opioids and they don't want you
Any
taking
any amount,
any
any
amount,
amount.
any amount. And cannabis is part of that list where, hey, if you're caught, so you saying that you did test positive in one case?
I tested, well, I actually got fired from pain management um, twice here when in Illinois. I got fired the last time because I had alcohol in my system it was like I went and celebrated that May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, and with my brother, and I did a urine and it was hot, and that's how I got fired. But from another one, I got fired. They were giving me fentanyl, morphine, and Percocet, and I got fired from them because they said I had um, crystal meth in my system, or that drug speed. And I didn't. I never have done that ever. I used to eat Broncades, like 50 to 100 of them a day. Like, after I used to take mini things. I don't know if you know what them are, but back in the
No.
day, you could get like 1,000 of them out of a magazine. They used to sell them at the gas station.
Okay.
And at one point, you had to sign It's called ephedrine.
Oh, okay. And so so those are the two times that you
Living
tested.
cold medicine.
So you tested
and
positive
I
those two
tested
times,
positive.
but not for cannabis.
No, because I could not and would not
Because that was,
smoke because
yeah.
I wouldn't get my fuels away.
So when did you like either take that risk and that leap to say, you know what, I'm going to start taking cannabis over these opioids and try to even break my alcohol addiction?
Well, I've always been an alcoholic, and I have to say, first, I got to give a shout out to my God because He's first. He comes first, and He put this planet on the earth for us to use as for medicinal purposes. And oh my God, it could change the world. I don't know what they're waiting for. We need it. Oh, anyway, I could go into
Go
spiel, but
ahead. Yeah, tell me.
um,
Why do we
what
need
I'm
it?
telling you about when I came here and got to the first when I went to pain management here in Illinois, and that was in 2015 to get my knees done. That doctor at that time, he took me off all them Percocets. One thing, he took me off them those 30 milligram Percocets.
What
He
was
put
his
me on.
reasoning? Was
I
it
was
too
on too
much?
much.
Too much.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wanted me to have a medical marijuana card, and I'd been on pain management in Pennsylvania for years. I don't know how many years, and I wasn't going to have none of that, and just wasn't. I smoked cigarettes too, like, and I'm even though I grew up all around weed in my house because my dad's a veteran, and that's what they gave him in Vietnam was weed and speed. That's what he said. So I was always around, but it should not. It should be like you want to see me on smoke a joint, and you want to see me um drink. I would. I'm sure. I don't. That should be. That stuff is poison, man. That I don't even understand. I can't comprehend how they can have just even not have this, if not that in that category, at least as medication. I mean, come on.
What does cannabis do for you to improve your life?
Well, I have PTSD. I've been sexually assaulted, beaten, left for dead. I've been a victim of. I was abducted when I was 6. I've been through a lot of things: anxiety, depression, PTSD. I've been addicted to food. That was my first addiction. Marijuana. Now I can't. I struggle on 128 pounds.
It's
Because
okay.
from the Lyrica, after I got off of the pain medicine, I got on Lyrica. It's an anti-inflammatory, and it hurt my stomach really bad. And I was in the hospital. I had to get an ERCP, which is stents in my liver ducts. And
Wow. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I'm sorry.
No,
Anyway, I
don't be
lost my
sorry. You're
appetite.
fine. It's
I lost
okay.
my appetite. I lost my appetite, and I haven't had an appetite in over 2 years.
And has cannabis helped you build up an appetite?
Oh my
And
gosh, yes. I have to eat, smoke all day just so I could eat good at night.
wow. Ther-
I
Teresa,
drink Ensure every day.
first off, let me just say you are so brave to come on here and to share, just to be so open. So I want to thank you. And everyone listening is very appreciative of you being an open book. So, and don't
Well, that's
apologize,
what I am. I've I've done what I've done. I don't have nothing to hide. And if I know I gotta vote, that's the only thing. Let me
Mhm.
get a tissue. I didn't know I
Sure.
was gonna cry.
No, of course. So remind me, where are you residing right now? Are you back in Illinois?
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, are you right now able to purchase and consume cannabis?
I'll tell you what. This is how it went. I'm also an alcoholic, but anytime I've ever been in trouble, alcohol was involved. Anyway,
Which is why you said it's not good, right? I mean, it's
right. My mom had me in Alateen when I was 11. They're already telling me I'm going to be an alcoholic. My uncle was an alcoholic and killed himself when he was 26 years old. He used to shoot wine in his veins, my dad said. And my dad's an alcoholic. He was a functioning alcoholic. And it's terrible. That disease needs way more attention than it gets because it's self-medicating for everybody. Nobody can tell me they don't use it as medication. And
Right.
some people are addicted to it. You can be addicted to lots of things.
Sure. Sure.
But I can't. I can go. I've been days without smoking cannabis, and I'm not. I'm not going to go through any kind of withdrawals. I mean, none.
There's no physical addiction, right? I mean, there's probably like a sense of
No.
you that wants to smoke or wants to consume, but you're not physically hurting for it,
Like
right?
I know. No, I'm go drink mouthwash. Let me tell you, I have done that lots of times. Drink mouthwash. You can go to Dollar General store and buy a bottle of mouthwash, and you will get just as drunk. It's 27% alcohol.
And
Just
don't
as drunk as if you. Yes.
and we don't want to encourage anyone listening. I got to put that disclaimer
No,
out there.
no,
You
it's
know, yeah,
terrible. It's terrible. I mean, that's just how desperate,
right, right.
or if you're in a dry township, or there are places where I was incarcerated that, yeah, they have dry townships there. If you get on probation for anything, you cannot drink. And if you're in an Olive Garden and get not even if you're not drinking, the probation officers across the street, they see you in there, it, you you're going back to jail because
They're gonna assume that you're at
you
the bar or you're
there
doing.
it doesn't matter. You already saying you can't be it doesn't
Oh
you can't have
wow,
drinks in front of you. You can't have people around you.
I see.
You
Wow.
can't go there. You just can't. And they keep it's not like here. They keep an eye on it. I mean, they they just keep taking the same people's money and locking them up. So many people are
What
in jail.
there are what? So are you able to like? I think when I heard on the spaces, you were mentioning something about how a roommate or somebody had snitched on you in your
Yeah, it wasn't
yeah.
a roommate. It was a man next door that goes to the same doctor that tried to give me medical marijuana. That was years ago. That pain management, he goes there. He has his own medical marijuana card, and I let him in, and I showed him my tent. And the next day or 2 days later, the people they were at my door, and they gave me time, because they were only about a month old when they got there. My 5 plants. You're allowed to have 5 plants, and I love it. It's like therapy to me. I had a garden now. I live in an apartment with like maybe 5 by 6 square dirt, and I use it to grow vegetables. Yes, I do. All these
It's
years.
awesome.
Well,
That's
since I got
amazing.
myself clean and sober,
Yeah,
and off all the drugs, I
right.
didn't feel nothing. For feelings are my body, you know.
And now
Exactly.
you're gardening and you're getting
I
you're rolling
love
up your
it, and
sleeves. Yeah.
I'm all my dreams like are just my mind is full of ideas, and I just want to get in on this I want to be able to grow my own marijuana. It's my own medicine. I don't understand. You're going to help me by giving me a place in subsidized housing. I mean, I make more than the lot of people. I make double of them,
Mhm.
but that's only because I get SSDI and I paid in. I've tried to go back to work. I tried to go back to work with this shoulder, but I'm getting my shoulder replaced next month, May 18th, my right shoulder. But I've already had a knee replacement, and I got to get the shoulder done because I got to have the left knee done. Anyway, so I got fired from that doctor tried to give me medical marijuana, and I didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Well, I only had him for like 6 months while I had my knee replaced. And then at that time I just had Medicare, but then I switched insurances to this Essence insurance, and I had Essence, and they didn't have any social, like it's no addiction, substance abuse, mental health, anything. They didn't pay for that 5 years ago, I guess. And it's just me fighting with them. It's like insane. It's
Yeah.
insane. They don't help me unless I spend $510 a month. And I put in my income taxes. I got my receipts from my dispensary from 20 and 21 and maybe 19 too. Trying for the day to come where I could use that as medication, and then it's dispensaries. I have them go to there and print me out everything I've spent on
Right.
this medicine.
Right. And
And
still,
I
they're not acknowledging it, or
it doesn't need as they're not going to acknowledge it, but they made it so you can grow it in your own home, grow your own plants in Illinois. You can have five,
but not
and
where you're
that's
at because it's federally
not
subsidized
not
housing.
yeah, right. If it was Illinois housing or uh just not federal, yeah.
God, that is so.
I got it, and I can't even use cannabis in my house now.
So,
And the
so
man
you
next
went,
door that snitched on me has a cannabis card.
and so you went, Teresa. You went from becoming a gardener, getting outside, growing these plants, feeling good by
Saving money.
taking the medicine, saving money. And now, because you live in federal subsidized housing and because it's federally illegal, you're unable to feel better and to have a sense of purpose by gardening and getting outside because of that.
Yeah,
That's
and
so
I'm
sad.
really scared because my medicine's going to run out. It's going to run out before I have the shoulder replacement. I don't know. I can't afford it. I got the money saved that I saved last month.
Teresa, I want you to look into the screen here, and I want you to act like as if you were talking to one of these senators. And just, as we wrap up, tell them exactly why you believe cannabis should be federally legal.
When it's a plant that just grows, and it's a beautiful plant. I wish you could have seen me. I'm gonna write a book someday. You might even see me in the Congress someday. But to not legalize this plant it's horrendous. You know, get rid of get along better as a community, as a race, as a whole. United States. I mean, 71% of us want it. What's wrong? Why can't you just tax it? Put 4%, for 3.9%, and then we'll all be good. Give those licenses to the people that need them, like me. I would love to have a grower's license and maybe someday even have a greenhouse. It's medicine. I grew up with an alcoholic father that had PTSD from Vietnam, and I seen him smoke pot. I remember telling him as a teenager, like, go back outside and joint and come back, because that's how he has PTSD too. We were under tables thinking that we're shooting at us when I was 7. Please, this it's my son has Asperger's, high functioning. Oh God, he's had so many pills. He was on like 5 Ritalin, all kinds of pills. Now he sees a counselor and he has medical marijuana card in Pennsylvania. Thank you, Jesus. He's 28 years old. He just got a $48,000 a year job. He's a recruiter. He's a great young man. His dad was a crackhead who died at 41 from an ulcer. Please, I mean, we will have no debt. We could get us out of debt. We could feed everybody, and everybody could make money. We could build more places for addiction. Gosh, we need that so bad. You don't understand. They have one place here for addiction. I got a DUI. I went there. You have to go. I had to do 75 hours because the day I moved in the apartment, I was on all that morphine, and my husband had just died, and I had with all the stuff and everything, and I drank, and I got too messed up to drive, so I pulled over at a Dollar General and slept it off. But when I got up, thank God I got pulled over before I even got on the highway, and I had to go to the treatment program. Well, there was kids in there that smoked marijuana, and that young black men, that's what they were there for, just smoking marijuana. That's insane. Marijuana doesn't cause them to be out there with guns. If they're smoking marijuana, they're freaking sitting around laughing or cutting up, playing video games, whatever. We can build smoking lounges for adults. There's this, it's a medicine. I wish I would have gave, if I'd have known they had THC for my son when he was growing up, I wouldn't have put him on Ritalin and Topamax and Ativan and Risperdal and Seroquel, all these drugs he was on. It was terrible.
Theresa, I really appreciate your time, and I can just see how passionate it's oozing through you. I mean, this sense of frustration that I can tell, that because you've seen it, you've lived through it, and you now, like with cannabis, have experienced this other
Yeah.
side, and I can just see the frustration because it's not legal, and people's voices like you are going to help move this industry forward, because
Well,
we need to tell these stories.
I wish that my last thoughts are, thank you for letting me share as much as you did.
Of
And
course.
if anybody has any questions, I would love to answer them. And I will do my best to find out if anybody, I just want to get all in. I want the MORE Act to pass through the Senate before we go to get the next election, for the next election, so I don't have to move out of this apartment. I did get to stay here. I don't have a tent. I'm not allowed to possess marijuana, but I gave my dad my medical as my caretaker, so he can go wherever he has to go and bring me my cannabis, which he wants to get his own license, but uh I just haven't got there yet. Anyway, I'm so passionate about it. I would not be alive today if I would just started smoking marijuana again. That's I went back. It's way too expensive, and now that I can grow it, and it's just why am I allowed to grow tomatoes and cucumbers and everything else? Why? So who said, oh, you can't grow that plant? Because that's your medicine. It's medicine. It's freaking medication. There's so much potential we don't even know because they won't research. It makes me, I can't wait to start researching it. I can't wait till it gets passed. I can't.
Well, we're going to keep the same hope, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, Theresa. And when that time comes, we're going to have you back on the
Well,
podcast, and we're going to celebrate. Okay.
I can't wait. Yeah,
Well,
that would be great.
Theresa, thank you so much again. Really appreciate you being so open. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep advocating.
Yeah.
And like you said, if people want to reach out, tell people where they can find you on Twitter if they want to ask you
Uh,
questions.
I, I actually don't know. You could tell me
I have
probably.
it. Here it is. Look, Theresa is at Komes Theresa, and that's KOMESTHERESA. There you
That's
go.
me. Other to why you can call, I'm Lady T
Or
on Discord, or Lady T 420.
there you go, Lady T420 on Discord. Theresa, thank you so much again. Really appreciate it. Okay. And thank you all for listening. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.